Hey guys, it's Dr. Odom here. Um, Super early. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up early thinking about my goals and visions. And then I started to record the next Jelly Bean, and my laptop ran out of space. So then I wanted to punch it, so I had to put it down and then get positive and got the phone out. So I'm shooting this one on the phone, and I'll fix it. But I want to talk about culture this month. So this Joe's Jelly Bean is going to be about culture. It can be about your work culture. It can be about your life culture, your home culture. It doesn't matter. I think it's all the same. It's all interchangeable because kind of how you are at home kind of dictates how you're at work, and how you are at work dictates kind of how you're at home. Because you never bring just your work self to work. You always bring your true self, your home self, into work, or you bring your work self back home when you're done with the end of the day. You try not to, but you can't. You try to dump all your stuff before you walk in, but you can't truly let go of your home self when you come to work, or the other way around. Um, so I want to talk about how we can make the environments around us the most awesome that they can be, so that we can kind of squish the two together and be amazing. What I want to talk about is gaps. Okay, so whenever we form a gap, think about it. Do we put trust in the gap, or do we put like suspicion and negativity to fill the gap in, to smooth it over? You have to smooth it over with something. So what are gaps? The gaps are when you expect something to happen and it doesn't. Like if there's a meeting called at a certain time, the meeting gets going and it's rocking and rolling, and then somebody walks in 15 minutes late. There's a gap there because you expected something to happen and it didn't. So what do you fill the gap in with? Everybody fills the gap in with something. Do you fill it with trust, or do you fill it with suspicion? So when they walk in late for the meeting, do you think, oh man, I got up early and I made sure that I got here, and I can't believe that they're so irresponsible? Or do you think, well, I wonder what happened to them, I need to go have a conversation with them, make sure that they're okay and see what's going on? That's just an example. So anytime that there's a gap, sometimes you think something's going to happen, what do you fill in the gap with? Do you fill it with trust, or do you fill it with suspicion? I say if you create a culture where because there's always going to be gaps. There's little gaps and sometimes there's big gaps. But if you fill all the gaps with trust, it'll make the environments around you better. It'll make everything more pleasant and more agreeable. Okay, so again, it could be little gaps, and there could be big gaps. So it all depends on what you fill that in with. You can fill it with anything. So I say today or this week, you have to be intentional. It does take intention, because a lot of times human nature, some people always go towards the positive and they always want to make sure everything's okay, and some people always go towards the negative. But I think most people actually always go towards the negative. I think it's human nature. So you have to be intentional to break that. So this week, guys, be intentional. Anytime there's a gap, even if it's a big gap or if it's a small gap, especially the small gaps, because they happen all the time. If there's a gap in what's expected and what actually happens at work or at home, um, just like, so like, here's an example at home. Just say, like, if someone didn't take out the trash, and that there's a gap there. So what do you feel with trust or suspicion? Do you blame that person and being lazy, or you should have a conversation with them, see what actually happened? Maybe they forgot, or maybe their hands hurt, or who knows what happened. But anyways, so this week, be intentional, fill the gaps in with trust. It'll create a different environment, and everything around you will be positive and better.